Are you a little bit hungry to learn something new? These videos and associated files serve as both a set of tools and as a means of learning about computational design with Grasshopper and Rhino in the fields of landscape architecture, urban design, planning, visualization, and civil engineering. Each mini workflow consists of a few components focused on a specific utility. You can use them on their own as design scripts or to learn about computational landscape design. So let's have a quick look. So there's a couple of things about mini workflows that you should know for all of the mini workflows. First of all, there's a Rhino file and a Grasshopper file. Secondly, it's using LandKit. So you'll see components for LandKit throughout the mini workflows. These are both free and paid components in many of these workflows. And if you're interested in using the paid version or the full version of LandKit, you should sign up for a trial at landkit.design. We're almost always also using the side panel here, the Grasshopper panel. In Rhino 8, they call it Grasshopper. In Rhino 7, they called it the RCP. In order to bring it up, you would say, show Grasshopper, but the actual label says RCP. So that's a little confusing. This panel is great because we don't have to use any external user interface plugins. We can just send certain parameters like a bake button or a slider or a text panel to this side panel. It allows us to build a little bit of functionality, and that's the whole point, right? These are utilities that can also be modified very easily. You can use these for small tasks, or as you become more confident with how these work, you could build them up, add your own functionality, and then maybe start to use them for larger tasks. Because of their simplicity, you can edit them more easily. So even a novice or maybe even a beginner could hop in here and say, what's happening? You hover over and you see what the components are called. Most of the time we have the components labeled. We're not perfect. I think there's some components that are not labeled, so apologies for that. We'll try to continue to clarify things as we go. And then just remember that there's also the full workflows on the LandKit website. Those have more functionality, more rich and robust functionality, but they are harder to edit. And the functionality that's in there is fairly set unless you're going to really go in and explore how to modify those. The topo workflow for our full workflows is particularly good. So a reminder as you use these workflows. So, I can do a bunch of work in this particular workflow, for example, and I can bake the data back into my Rhino file. And then I can use that data for CAD or for 3D rendering or whatever the nature of the data allows. But the one thing we want to ensure is that everyone checks their work and makes sure that the outputs are working the way they should, so that the quality of your work is what it needs to be. And also, in case there are difficulties with our bugs or whatever with our mini workflows, that you let us know so that we can make fixes to those. Feel free to leave comments on the YouTube, and we'll try to get to that right away. We hope you enjoy mini workflows, and just take them one bite at a time. You can't learn everything at once.